Okay, good morning class. This morning we are going to take up farm power. So this is part 1 of our lessons on farm power. So there should be part 2. So this morning we are going to take up the sources of power in the farm. First one is manpower. Manpower is necessary in the farm in the operation of animals and machines, as well as tasks which could not be done by animals or machines. So even if we have machines or animals, still manpower is necessary. Then we have animal. It is widely available in several countries, here especially in Asia, for primary and secondary farm operations. Besides, animals can also be used in transporting farm products to the market. So we have in the Philippines, we use carabao to till our land and to transport our farm products. Next one is the wind. Wind can be utilized to generate electricity or additional power to other implements by the use of windmill. One common use of a windmill is lifting up underground water for irrigation and other domestic uses. So I don't know if you have seen these. These are setups. We have many of these in Ilocos, and also I have seen this in Boracay, in Aklan, and so these are renewable sources of energy. So the power output from a horizontal axis wind turbine is power is equal to 1/2 times the density of air multiplied by the area of the rotor multiplied by the cube of its velocity. So when we say horizontal axis, these are considered as horizontally axis because the rotor or the shafting of the rotor is placed horizontally. So mao siyang gitawag ni siya horizontally axis wind turbine. Now let us solve some problems. So we have here the first problem, but before going into that, I would like to make a review in our physics before. So we will be using power, unit of power. So review of the basics. So the first one is, before coming into the power, we have velocity. Velocity is actually equal to distance over time. So the unit for distance is in meters, and for time is in seconds. Or we have units of time, we have minutes, or we have hours. So another is weight or force. They have the same units. So weight is actually equal to the mass times the gravitational acceleration. We normally misuse the term weight in our common application. When we say papalita ko isda, ang kabugaton niya is 1 kilogram. Actually, kilogram is a unit of mass. So weight is actually kilograms multiplied by the gravitational acceleration. The gravitational acceleration is equivalent to 9.8 meters per second square. So the unit of weight is in Newton. So we are not using this. Ang kabugaton is 20 Newton. So force is having the same unit with weight, which is in Newton. So force is the equal to mass times acceleration. So they have the same unit as the weight. So we have force. The unit of force is also Newton. So the next one, we have work. No? So you remember what is work? Work is equal to force times distance. No? So you cannot do work not unless something has moved. No? For example, if you are pushing a table and the table does not move, you have not done work in that. No? So if you push the table and it travel this 1 meter, so you at least you have done a work. No? So the unit of work is Newton meter, and Newton meter is actually equal to joules. So that is the unit for work. And lastly, we have power. No? So power is the rate of doing work. So kung paspas ka mo trabaho, it means you have great power. No? So a rate of doing work. So work over time. So what is the unit of work? Work is joules, and the unit of time is in seconds. So power is actually joules over second is actually watts. No? So you can use kilowatts or watts. No? Kilo is equivalent to 1,000. So you have watts for power, joules for work, and we have Newton for force. No. Okay, so going back to our problem, calculate the power generated by a horizontal axis wind turbine if the wind is blowing at about 50 kilometers per hour and the rotor diameter is 3 meters. Assume air density to be 1.2 kilogram per cubic meter. So we have given the velocity of the air is 50 kilometers per hour. And the next given is the diameter of the rotor, and we have the density of the air, which is 1.2 kilograms per cubic meter, and we are required to find for the power generated in the horizontally axis, rotor axis windmill. So for the solution, we have to write the general formula, which is power is equal to 1/2 times the density times the area times the cube of its velocity. And we know that the area for circle, because the rotor will rotate in a circular motion, so your area is equal to pi d square over 4, or we can use radius, which is 1/2 of the diameter, so pi r square over pi r square. So we have area is pi, which is 3.1416, and our radius, which is half of 3, which is 1.5 meter, so square. So square is multiplied 1.5 twice, so multiplied by pi, we have an area of 7.1 meters square. Then we solve for the velocity. Actually given ang the velocity, it's 50 kilometers per hour, but what is very important here is that you should have consistency in your units. So we have 50 kilometers per hour. So the idea here is we have to convert kilometers into meters to be consistent. Now 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1,000 meters. So cancel ang kilometers. Then we have to convert also hours into seconds. So 1 hour is equivalent to 3,600 seconds. Cancel ang hours. So we have our velocity, which is equal to 50,000 over 3,600 meter per second. Okay, so velocity is equal to 13.89 meter per second. Okay, so this is our velocity. Okay, so going back into our main equation, we have power is 1/2 multiplied by density, which is 1.2 kilograms per cubic meter, multiplied by the area. Our area is 1.7. Oh no, it's 7.1. So erase 7. Okay, so area is 7.1 meter square, multiplied by velocity, which is 13.89. So this is cube, no? So you have to multiply the 13.89 3 times in order to get the cube. So we have here the result is 8.52 kilogram meter square. So we can cancel all those mga units, no? Cancel meter square sa taas. Ang bilhin sa ubos is we have 1 meter sa ubos, no? And then the cube of 13.89 is 2,679.61. So we have meter cube, kay cube muna nato. So cube pud ang meter, then cube pud ang second, no? So you have in our computation get about 11,362.85 kilogram. So this is kilogram meter cube over second day, no? Over the cube of the seconds. So we have kung ato nang i-convert, no, using our basic knowledge on katong mga units, actually kilogram meter square over second cube is equal to watts. So 11,362.85 watts or 11.36 kilowatt. No, so we have an answer of 11.36 kilowatt. No, so going forward, so the next is the water. The power from a water body cascading from a higher elevation can be harnessed to drive farm machines by the use of water wheel, no? So the first one in the top picture is overshot or vertical drop tide. So may tag vertical or overshot, the water flows from here and falls down here, no? So because of the weight of the water, so this water wheel is will be rotating in this direction. So this is connected into the machines inside, while the other one at the bottom is undershot or horizontal flow type. So the water flows here, no? So the flow of the water causes this wheel to rotate in that direction. So that is the undershot or flow type. So power output of a water wheel for overshot or vertical drop type, the efficiency is about 40 to 60%. No? So power is equal to Q is the canal discharge, no? And we multiplied by the density of water times the height or the head, no? Head is this one here, the height of the fall of water striking into the wheel, and then multiplied by efficiency. So this unit here, 10197, is actually these are constant, no? In order to derive the units to the unit of watts. Okay, so we have a sample problem. So in our problem, a farmer is planning to construct a vertical drop type water wheel for abaca stripping. An open rectangular canal which diverts water from a nearby river is to be constructed also. The width of the canal is 1 meter, while the depth of the stream will be maintained at about 50 centimeter to allow a stream flow of about 2 meter per second. If the water is expected to drop 10 meters before it hits the water wheel tangentially, what will be the power output of this water wheel? Assume an efficiency of 40%. No? So, okay, solving the problem. So we are given our width of the canal is 1 meter. Our depth of the water in the canal is 50 centimeters. So we have to, again, be consistent. So we have to convert the centimeter into meter. So we have cancel a centimeter. So we have 0.5 meter is the depth, no? And then we have velocity. The velocity is 2 meters per second. And then we have height of the drop or the head, no, which is 10 meters. And our efficiency is stated to be 40%. So we are required to find for the power generated, no, of the water wheel or power output. So solution. So normally we have to write the general equation, which is power is equal to the discharge multiplied by the density over times the height or the head multiplied by the efficiency of the system over 0.101972. So this is actually a constant, no, in order to derive the units into watts. So if this is the cross section of the canal, so the depth of the water is 0.5 meters. So this is the water. So this is the width, which is 1 meter. So area of the water in the canal is equal to width times the depth of water, no? So we have 1 meter times 0.5 meter. So we have area which is equal to 0.5 square meter. So this is our area. Okay, so we have discharge is actually equal to area times the velocity of the water. Now, so we have area is 0.5 meter square multiplied by the velocity of 2 meter per second. Now, so what happens is that it will already be cubed na ang, because it's volume, no, volume per second. So the discharge is volume per second. So going back into our main equation, Q is 1 meter cubic meter per second, and density is 1000 kilograms per cubic meter, and then multiplied by the head, which is 10 meter, and our efficiency, so if you write the 40%, convert it into decimal, which is 0.40 over 101,972. So our power, computing, the result is 39,226.45 watts, or divided by 1000 to convert it into kilowatts. Okay, so that's it. That's our power, 39.2 kilowatt, no? So that's it. So you can practice this, no, so that you will also be able to master the solution. Then for undershot or horizontal flow, the efficiency is about 20%, no? So you can have this problem, try to solve this problem, and try to check whether this answer is right. Next is the hydroelectric dam. Hydroelectric dam is a structure to harness the raw water power in great amount. Hydroelectric power comes from the potential energy driving a water turbine and generator in a hydroelectric dam. In this case, the energy extracted from water depends on the volume and on the difference in the height between the source and the water's outflow. This height difference is called the head. The amount of potential energy in the water is proportional to the head. To obtain high heads, water for a hydraulic turbine is run through a large pipe called a penstock. So this is a picture of the hydroelectric dam. So this is the reservoir here, no? So this is the height, no, of the height or the head kani kahabog diri level of reservoir water, and this is the penstock, just like a canal, or usually these are pipes, no, underneath the reservoir. So this is the intake of the water flow here, the penstock, and then it hits the turbine. So the turbine rotates. So this is the turbine here. Pagkaigo sa tubig, it will rotate, no? This is connected to the generator through the shaft, turbine generator shaft. So ang generator, this will produce electricity, no? So mao na ang principle in having the hydroelectric dam. Okay, so this is an example of hydroelectric dam in Clyde Dam in Cromwell, New Zealand. So this is down here. They have to construct this wall in order to contain the flow of water, no? So the flow is controlled by this penstock in underneath here, no, sa dam, in order to flow into the turbine. So the electric power from a hydroelectric plant is having this formula. Power is equal to density of water times the discharge multiplied by gravitational acceleration, which is 9.81 meter per second square, and the head, no? So this is an example just try to follow, no, compute whether you got the same answer. So if you have if you cannot get the right answer, just ask question, email me or other teachers. Then next one is sun, the solar energy. Solar energy is another source of power in the farm. It is collected using solar collector and converted to mechanical energy to drive implements which are used during night time and during rainy days. Although the Philippines has plenty of sunshine hours per year, solar power is not yet practical in the local farm setting due to the high installation and maintenance cost of a solar collector. They use the solar panel, no? There is mga kanang the solar collector or solar panel reacts with sunlight, and this is converted into electricity, no? So electricity can be used in the farm. So these are example of solar collector, no, solar panel. So in Germany, I happened to be there when I did my PhD. Most of the houses there are installed with solar panels, no, and they sometimes collect more energy from the sun and then provide it into the grid, and they sometimes are paid with the electricity that they have offered into the grid. So electricity, most powerful power source in the farm throughout the countryside. It is delivered to service areas by various transmission line structures. It is used to drive several farm machines, small or large scale. So from electricity, it's connected to the machines using electric motors. So electric motors is the one that is driving our machines. So this is the idea of the electric generation. For example, in Tungunan, so the energy of the steam inside underneath the earth, no, mo na naka-generate through the turbine, makapatuyok to sa turbine tungkol sa pressure sa steam, and then the turbine rotates the generator, so the generator produces electricity, and from the power station it is distributed, no, to overhead transmission lines, which is about 230,000 volts, no. And take note that we are on here in the Philippines, we are using 20 volts in our mga home appliances or equipment. So from the transmission lines, it is passed into mga receiving stations, no? Then distribution stations, like for example mga Leyeco, Solico, but it's now reduced into 69,000 volts, no? And then distribution station will distribute this into other mga commercial customers, like under residential customer, but they are now transforming this 12,000 volts into 220 volts for actual application or uses. So that is how the electric power is applied or used. Okay, so I think we have finished this, and see you in the second part of the farm power.